This is page 2 of the rationals functions quiz we took on Friday. For question 4 and 5, you need to give 2 examples of direct or inverse variation. I encourage you to come up with these examples of your own. The key to remember is that direct variation is any situation where when x increases, y increases. Therefore, inverse variation is when x decreases, y increases. So, for example, for direct variation, the more you eat, the fatter you get. For inverse variation, the more you exercise, the thinner you get. Something like that. Anything you can find in either the real world or algebra that will show this sort of relationship. When direct variation is when you change one thing, the other thing changes the same way. And inverse, when you change one thing, the other thing changes opposite. Please do not write what I wrote here and expect to get any credit. Alright, let's go to 6. Francisco has 18 square tiles. This one was a little tricky because he has 18 square tiles only that he's using to create a mosaic to decorate the floor. If his design must use all the tiles and must be rectangular, write a function for the possible width of a rectangular design and the possible height of the rectangular design. So, this is actually pretty simple. As we know, the area of a rectangle, which in this case must be the same, is equal to the width times the height. And it gives us our variables, so we have to say W times H is equal to 18. So that's our function. This second part was the tricky bit, because we had to remember way back when that if he has only 18 square tiles, then he does not have an infinitely divisible set of things. Normally, width and height are measurements, and measurements can be infinitely divisible. But if he has only 18 square tiles, then he can make things that are 1 by 18, 2 by 9, 3 by 6, or the others, 6 by 3, 9 by 2, 18 by 1. He can't, for example, make anything 3.5 tiles tall. It doesn't have that capability. And he certainly can't make something like square root of 2 tiles tall. Therefore, this doesn't work, because while we avoid the negatives, which we want to do if we're making areas, we know that he has to at least use 1 tile. This definitely doesn't work, because it includes all sorts of numbers that don't make any sense, negatives especially. And while C seems to be the correct one, this doesn't work either, because it includes all the half numbers and all the irrational numbers and everything else. Therefore, B, where it just lists the possible combinations, B is the correct answer. Alright, I hope you've been following along and had your records. I encourage you to get this in before Friday when we take our test.